Well, absolutely, very important moments here at the Gallagher Estate. It's all about the NEVs, and really the industry players are right here alongside the policymakers and very key stakeholders as well. So to really look at the role that can be done in terms of making sure that we see the momentum sustained, we're joined by the MD of Grid Cars and Winston Jordaan. He's a managing director of the Grid Cars. So once again, sir, thank you so much, Winston, for your time. I mean, lovely. We're just talking about what you guys do. Maybe first of all, let's talk about what you guys do actually in terms of contributing to the NEV sector.
So Grid Cars started fundamentally in about 2002. So just to put that in perspective, the first electric cars arrived in South Africa in 2013. So we were 11 years ahead. At the time, we were looking at building vehicles, but around 2010, we decided to start building the infrastructure to get the infrastructure ready for the electric vehicles. So we put our first chargers down in 2012. Which again was a year before the first EVs arrived. So before the Nissan Leaf vehicles arrived in South Africa, we had charging infrastructure on the ground already. And essentially we've just gone quite aggressively since then. The national highways got covered in about 2017. So from 2017, you've been able to drive to Cape Town, to Durban, all of the major highways. And today there's over 650 chargers out in South Africa. So there's really very few places that there are no chargers. If you look at a map, you'll see us a little bit lean towards the Northern Cape, but we are working on that now. We're starting to put infrastructure into that area as well.
Job creation is very key for South Africa, Winston. Let's look at the role that you play to that effect in terms of making sure that there's skills development and many of those things as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm somebody who doesn't make a big thing about the job creation, and the bottom line is, we employ hundreds of people. There's, across the platforms. I think the idea is focus on getting done what needs to be done for business. If you focus on jobs, you're going to fail because you're not going to build something sustainable, and that's what we typically see. Is a lot of the shorter term things that we're looking to create 100 jobs over here, and a year later there's none of those left. We've built a sustainable business. And we've got over 100 electricians across the country that work with us. Those electricians will do installations in various areas. They'll support the equipment in those areas. We've got a very strict process by which we train our electricians. So all the electricians, when I say our electricians, our contracting electricians, they're not employed by us, they do other electrical work as well. But the idea is that we've got a very strict process of training them. They've got good quality in terms of how they do the work. And we're busy now looking at trying to upgrade those electricians to be ensuring they're using electric vehicles. Because one of the problems is you install a charger, but if you don't drive an electric car, you can't test it. So you can't see that it's actually working. And it becomes quite an important thing. So part of what our strategy is now is looking at how to ensure that more and more of the electricians out there are actually, let's say, using their bread and butter, which is making electricity, to actually drive their vehicles as well, which just makes logical sense.
Absolutely, and also looking at the very critical element in terms of the policies that we have. I mean, already the white paper is out on the EVs. Do you think there's sufficient support? But also, Winston, a very critical issue around the anxiety. Like, how do you convince people to actually have a buy-in and really move away from the traditional ways, but embrace the change?
No, again, we're the type of company who sort of got down and got the job done. So, we do often hear people talking about extensive red tape and policy, lack of policy. That doesn't exist for us. And I'm quite serious about it. I think that there are too many people who have not yet delivered that are then trying to find excuses why they haven't delivered, and they want to blame policy and they want to blame uptake and they want to blame all of these things. Yeah, it'd be great to have more uptake. Really. Why have we not got more uptake? Because we've got a country that 99% of all cars that get sold are fuel cars. So everybody's indoctrinated into what the fuel ecosystem is. You've got an industry that is dependent on that fuel ecosystem. So they're going to also talk against the transition. For some reason, people are very afraid of change. Now, and if that was really, if we refuse to embrace change, we'd all still be riding horses. It's as simple as that. When change comes, you've got to see it, and you've got to say, I'm going to embrace this and I'm going to take it on. And I think that's what we lack in, because the transition from fuel vehicles to electric vehicles it looks too similar. It's almost as though it's a choice. Whereas if you really go down and think about it, it's not the choice, it's just the next level of where automotive technology is going. So automotive technology was, for, let's just say transport technology was horse, then it became electric, by the way, then it became petrol. It's just going back to electric because it now makes more sense. It is cheaper, faster, more efficient, lower cost. Every single aspect of this thing makes the most sense. It's not a choice, it is the future of the automotive industry. There is a transitional period. There's a period in which people drove horses and cars. And I'm sure there were some people talking about a hybrid horse cart that could drive on its own, but you drag the horse behind just in case the car stopped working, that you could bring a horse in the front and let it pull the car. I'm pretty sure there was people thinking about that. But if we look back on it, we just see that as ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about it. Okay. Is that I know this is the new technology. You know, they're transitional technologies, whether those are gas or hydrogen or hybrid systems or mild hybrids or, you know, whatever the names are that we give these technologies, they're transitional. We'll get over that and we'll be 100% focused on electric, and electric will be the future that takes us forward. But generally, there are not massive roadblocks in doing this other than people's attitude. You sort of indicated an anxiety, and you know, the part of that drive is, you know, what if I run out of electricity? I always say that the people who are concerned about that are the people who don't drive electric cars. The people who drive electric cars know exactly how far they can go with their car. They know when they're going to run out or if they're going to run out, and they've got an app called Charge Pocket on their phones. They know where the chargers are. They can open the map and see, oh, I'm running low, and the app would say, oh, there's your 3 nearest chargers. You can go that one, this one, or this one. This one has got a Starbucks coffee. Okay, great, I'm going to go there. Or that one has got a place where I can go and wash the car at the same time that they're going to charge it. These different things, you just choose it.
Before I let you go, Winston, your presence here, what are you hoping to learn from your peers? What are you hoping to share with them in terms of your successes, even some challenges, actually?
I think for us, the most important message is what I've conveyed already, is that the industry is ready, the technology is ready. The only thing it's not is the people. And it's about getting that message across to people that this is, it should not be business as usual. We really have to look at how do we move this transition. If we move the transition to new electric vehicles too slowly, we will play no role in the future of this industry. And this is not something we can fix afterwards. So if we as South Africans say, oh no, we're going to stick with fossil fuel, the rest of the world's going to move on. They're going to develop battery technology, they're going to develop skills in electric vehicle technology. And by the time we realize, oh my gosh, this is real, we missed it, we have missed it. We will have no space to develop the technologies and build the technologies ourselves. We'll just become consumers of the rest of the world's products. And I think that to me is my biggest fear, is that I need the people to understand that you move technology forward by aggressively taking those steps. So he was looking and seeing, this is the future. How do we now start building batteries? A South African view, if you say to South Africans, build a battery, they're going to say, yeah, but you know, they're not quite sure if battery is the future, and we're not quite sure if enough people will buy it. If you tell somebody in China, build a battery, 2 days later, 5 people are building batteries. You understand? And that's how you aggressively take an industry. It's just the only way.
All right. But of course, thank you so much, Winston Jordaan, the managing director there of the Grid Cars. Really talking about the importance of today, but also in terms of the opportunities that are presented by the industry. So we'll keep you really informed as we get more guests talking about the significance of this gathering. Stay tuned.